I chased Damien for 5 years. Edison chased Charlotte for 5 years. Later on New Year's Eve, I didn't wait for Damien at the cinema. He didn't wait for Charlotte at the amusement park. But we both ended up seeing their official relationship announcement on social media at the same time. Finally, after some discussion, he said, "Why don't we pair up? We know each other inside out." I was silent for a moment, then nodded. "All right." Then we hurriedly tried on wedding dresses, picked a venue, chose an auspicious date, and wrote invitations, all to get married before they did. Later, when I was overwhelmed with choosing a venue, Damien knocked on my door. Outside the door, he gritted his teeth, his eyes slightly red as he asked me, "Are you serious? Are you really going to marry Edison? Have you thought it through?" Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. On New Year's Eve, I was in the mall by the Central Street, watching the balloons released outside and countless couples embracing each other. I clutched the movie ticket in my hand as snowflakes drifted down. I couldn't quite describe the feeling, but I just thought that after liking Damien for so many years, it still didn't lead to a good outcome. My phone vibrated, and I glanced at it. It was Edison, Damien's younger brother. The chat screen displayed, "She didn't come either. I grew up with Damien." Edison. Later I fell for Damien. Edison developed feelings for my roommate. I encouraged him to help me, and I helped him in return. It's just a pity that on New Year's Eve, he didn't get to see Charlotte, and I didn't get to see Damien either. After slowly exhaling a sigh, I was about to leave. Just received Edison's call. It was noisy on the other end, but his voice came through clearly, hoarse yet distinct. "Did you see my brother and her IG?" At that moment, a bad premonition surged in my heart. My hand holding the phone and the finger hovering over the screen hesitated, not daring to tap in. It seems that just by clicking in, everything would change. In the end, I still clicked in. There were quite a few people showing off their love and posting photos on New Year's Eve. I just scrolled down a little and saw it. The moment I saw the photo, my confusion overshadowed my sadness, because the photo they posted together was of them wearing school uniforms. In the photo, Edison and Charlotte are standing on the school playground, smiling and flashing peace signs at the camera. Both of them were laughing happily, but Damien rarely smiled when taking photos with me. Charlotte also refused to take pictures with Edison. Charlotte was my high school classmate. There was a time when she had conflicts with her family, so I stayed at the dormitory. I refused to go home, so my parents had no choice but to ask Damien and Edison to bring me things. Over time, Charlotte became familiar with them. But when did the two of them start to develop feelings for each other? How could Edison and I be so foolish? Like moths drawn to a flame, I was speechless for a long time, as if something was stuck in my throat, making me feel extremely uncomfortable. Edison's phone call hasn't ended yet, and he hasn't spoken either. Finally, he said, "Are you still at the cinema?" Hearing this, I responded with a, Then wait for me there. I'll buy new tickets, and we can go watch it together." "Okay," I replied to him. It was a bit embarrassing overall, but fortunately, he was there to share the embarrassment with me, which made it less unbearable. While waiting for Edison to arrive, instead of recalling the subtle clues between the two of them, my mind was completely blank. I didn't cry either. I just felt like everything had happened too quickly. After what felt like an eternity, my legs had gone completely numb from squatting when I finally saw Edison appear by the escalator. He'd dyed his hair red a few days ago, saying it symbolized a prosperous new year and that the red hair also meant good things were coming his way. I'd actually wanted to dye my hair red too, but since he beat me to it, I went for a milk tea brown instead. When he spotted me, he quickened his pace and walked over. I waved my hand at him. "Give me a hand. My legs are a bit numb." Edison reached out to help me up, stared at my face, and laughed. "Not bad. You didn't cry." I pounded my numb legs with my hands. The sensation was oddly satisfying. "You too." "Oh." He waved his hand. "Let's go. It's about time." We tacitly agreed not to bring it up again. After the movie, he took me home. After washing up, I finally saw Charlotte's message to me. "Erin, I'm with Damien now. Are you mad at me?" I closed my eyes, lying on the bed in irritation, and replied expressionlessly, "No. Who she's with is her freedom, even if that person is Damien." But I considered her a friend, happily and excitedly sharing every moment of my youth when I liked Damien with her. But she never said anything to me. And after I pursued Damien for so many years, they ended up together. Heartbreak and anger nearly overwhelmed my chest. I'm not angry because she's the one who ended up with Damien, but because she never told me she also liked Damien. All those times I shared with her about chasing Damien. What was she thinking? Was she laughing at me for overestimating myself? This suddenly made me feel that this person was both unfamiliar and terrifying. The moment I sent it, she seemed to have anticipated I would say this. I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm so glad to hear you're not upset with me. It's not that I didn't want to tell you. I just didn't know how to start explaining to you. Her message was quite long. I exited the chat and removed her from the pinned list. Finally, she asked me, Aaron, shall we go to that barbecue place on Center Street together tomorrow? I knew she was testing me. Testing whether I was really angry. But I won't be friends with her anymore. Whether I'm angry or not. What she thinks doesn't matter now. No. I'm a bit tired today. I'm going to sleep early. After a while, she didn't send a message. But instead, Damien sent one. I was the one who pursued Charlotte. And I liked her first. Aaron, I hope you won't blame her or direct your anger at her. How should I put it? In the past, I really liked Damien. The kind of liking that filled my heart and eyes to the point of overflowing. Just now, it feels like it happened overnight. Yet suddenly, there's a bit of nausea, a sense of disgust. How could their feelings be sudden? Their togetherness abrupt. But they look at me and Edison as if we're clowns, enjoying the kindness we show them, only to turn around and say, thank you for liking me. But I don't like you. I can accept any outcome. But I can't accept that the person I've liked for so many years turns out to be a terrible person in reality. In the end, I didn't reply. I just took screenshots of these two and sent them to Edison, with the caption, do you have these? After a while, Edison also sent me his, which was from Charlotte. The gist of it was thanking him for his affection over all these years. Edison said, tell me, in 5 years, how come she never told me she liked my brother? Aaron. It's not like we're that shameless. Knowing they liked each other and still continuing to like them. Chased for 5 years. But the liking lasted more than 5. I said, it's my bad luck to have met them. But I don't want to see them anymore in the future. Though I guess I'll see them tomorrow. And after that. Sigh. I'll have to say it's fine. No problem. It all feels so fake. But they won't be happy unless they hear it. To feel at ease. Typing away. A wave of irritation hit me. And I just wanted to delete and block them right away. Me too. Just now, my brother came knocking on my door, asking if I was asleep. I didn't answer. Thinking about it is exhausting. I'm not exactly sad. After all, I've been chasing her for so many years. I can accept it. It's just that my heart aches. Why did it have to be the two of them? How could they do this? Suddenly, an idea popped into my head. The next second, Edison's call came through. Since childhood, both of us have been restless and full of wild ideas, often coming up with similar mischievous schemes. You say. I pouted my lips. You say it. Ahem. Edison cleared his throat. Let's pair up. We know each other inside out. I paused for a second, though knowing he couldn't see me. I nodded. All right. We need to get married before they do. Don't worry. Leave it to me. I never knew Edison could work so efficiently. Last night, I couldn't squeeze out a single tear to mourn the wasted years of my life, emotionally wondering if my affection for Damien had completely vanished during those hopeless years. Then this morning, really early, like seriously early, my mom came knocking on my door, more urgent with each knock, as if her life depended on it. Mom, what are you doing? I opened the door with my hair disheveled, and before I could finish my complaint, my mom covered my mouth with her hand. Honey, you need to wash up and come downstairs quickly. Hurry. Bleary-eyed, I struggled to open my eyes. What's going on? Your boyfriend is here to propose marriage. My mom whispered excitedly into my ear. My mom used to always urge me to hurry up and start dating and get married, even trying to arrange blind dates for me over this matter. But today, seeing Edison come to propose, she must be genuinely happy. Oh, this sentence startled me awake instantly. No way. Then I walked to the side and looked down at the first floor, where familiar faces were gathered, and gold shimmered under the glow of the crystal chandelier. I washed up, did my makeup, and changed clothes at the fastest speed before heading downstairs. Downstairs, Mrs. Bancroft watched me descend and waved gently with a warm smile. Aaron, Come have breakfast first. This is what your uncle and I brought back from the tea house. Then she turned to my mom with an apologetic smile. We came over so abruptly today. We must have startled you. Oh my. What are you talking about? We've watched these two kids grow up together. If they want to strengthen their bond through marriage, I couldn't be happier. Yes. Yes. Our families know each other inside out. There's no need for so many formalities. My dad chimed in. Edison was dressed in a very formal suit today, with his hair slicked back, sitting upright. You're moving way too fast, I said as I sat down next to him, picking up a shrimp dumpling and taking a bite. He whispered, I just thought that since my brother isn't home, bringing him to your place to propose might make you uncomfortable. Hearing this, I merely raised an eyebrow and said nothing. The elders from both families were enthusiastically discussing the wedding arrangements nearby. I think the 5th day of the lunar month is a great date. Auspicious for weddings, one of them said. Yes. Yes. An auspicious day indeed. Good. Good. It's settled then. Edison and I were stunned, exchanging a glance. Why are they more eager than us? Edison leaned in and whispered to me. Both sides are probably afraid we'll back out. Suddenly, I thought it made a lot of sense. My mom often nags in my ear. Why are you young people nowadays increasingly reluctant to get married? Recently, Edison and I have been busy trying on wedding dresses, selecting venues, and writing invitations. Damien and Charlotte went on a trip to Cydia together, posting on social media every day, looking incredibly happy. While waiting for Edison to change into his suit, I stared at the sea behind them, feeling slightly dazed. Actually, planning to go to Edison and Cydia was something decided a long time ago, and I had mentioned this to Charlotte. Cydia is a coastal city, and when I came across a video posted by a blogger online, I immediately sent it to her. Originally, I had intended to wait until my birthday to go there with him, but then, just a few days ago, Charlotte sprained her ankle, and I went to take care of her. So the plan got postponed. I never expected it would end up being the two of them going together. What are you looking at? Edison stepped out wearing a black suit, a faint smile on his face. I didn't hide it from him and turned my phone screen to show him. He lowered his head to fasten the buttons, and when he looked up, I said, let me help you. After the buttons were fastened, he had also finished looking and put away his phone, asking me, do you want to go? I shook my head but then nodded. Edison and Damien are twins, but after looking at them for a while, you can still easily tell them apart. Damien is the type who can't be bothered with others, always aloof and impatient, whereas Edison has eyes very much like Auntie's, curved and bright when he smiles, strikingly beautiful, with a sunny and emotionally stable personality. It's not because they went that I want to go too. I've wanted to go for a long time myself, I said with unwavering determination in my eyes. Hearing this, Edison pushed me toward the mirror. All right, I understand. In the full-length mirror, we looked like a perfect match, a truly well-suited couple. The salesgirl standing nearby chimed in at just the right moment. The young lady and gentleman make such a handsome pair. How about this set? Do you like it? He asked me softly, tilting his head slightly. I thought for a moment, feeling somewhat conflicted, and pursed my lips before saying, I just feel it's not quite stunning enough. I gestured with my fingers. It's missing just a tiny bit of feeling. Edison looked at me and couldn't help but laugh, his eyes sparkling like stars under the crystal chandelier. Sir, miss, are any of these wedding dresses and suits to your liking? The store manager stepped forward to ask us, then noticing the hesitation in our eyes, carefully added, actually, we have a few wedding dresses arriving from abroad in a few days. Would you and the gentleman be willing to wait until then? I guarantee, these wedding dresses are absolutely exquisite. We have the designer's images here, and we can also explain the designer's concept to you and your husband. Is this convenient for you? I looked at Edison with questioning eyes, and he nodded. I smiled and said, sure. In a few days, the wedding dress arrived, and the store manager called us to go try it on. Edison had some urgent business at the company, so I told him not to pick me up. I could go to the bridal shop myself. Just as I was about to leave, I saw Charlotte walking toward me with a radiant smile, carrying a bag in her hand. Seeing I was about to leave, she casually asked, Erin, are you heading out? I didn't answer her and asked what she came to see me for. She smiled and handed me the bag she was holding. Here, I brought you some local specialties. Erin, Cydia is really like the videos you sent me. The sea stretches as far as the eye can see, It's so photogenic. By the way, how come you haven't liked any of my social media posts? She excitedly shared with me her experience of City A. At that moment, I looked at this person who had known me for so many years. We are standing so close right now, yet it feels like I've never truly known her. Suddenly, her words abruptly stopped as her eyes caught sight of the diamond ring on my middle finger. Her expression turned slightly peculiar as she looked at me strangely. Erin, you shouldn't wear a ring on your middle finger. Take it off quickly. And also, when did you buy this diamond ring? It's really beautiful. I glanced at the 10-carat diamond ring on my hand, which Edison had bought for me. He said our marriage was too rushed, skipping the engagement, but we still needed some sense of ceremony, so he insisted on taking me to buy a ring. Honestly, when the salesperson tried a 1-carat diamond ring and then a 10-carat one, the bigger the diamond, the more stunning it looked. I know, I said calmly. Then why? She opened her mouth, but I cut her off, forcing a smile as I said, I'm getting married. Huh? Hearing my words, her expression froze, and she blurted out, how could it be so soon? Have you moved on from Damien? When she realized what she had said, her face suddenly turned pale, and she looked at me cautiously. My heart remained utterly calm, only regretting that I had misjudged her. She herself thought that in such a short time, I would definitely not forget Damien. But she still sat beside me reminiscing about their happy moments in City A. She reached out, linked her arm with mine, and shook it playfully. Oh, Erin, don't be mad. Didn't you say that if you were to get married one day, you'd definitely invite me to be your bridesmaid? This bridesmaid hasn't even met the groom yet. Between the lines, her meaning was clear. She wanted me to take her to meet my fiancé. There is such a person in reality who likes anything that belongs to others. And she enjoys the sense of superiority and victory when snatching things from others. I don't want to know whether Charlotte genuinely likes Damien, but I do wonder if she ever had feelings for that foolish boy who, countless times, would drive her dozens of kilometers home from school just because she asked. Edison. I smiled faintly. All right. Really. Let's go then. Because Charlotte delayed. Edison arrived at the bridal shop before me. The moment Charlotte saw Edison at the bridal shop, the smile on her face vanished instantly. In disbelief, she forced a smile and asked me how Edison could be here. As her pupils dilated, I slowly stepped forward and linked arms with Edison. The meaning is obvious. Edison lowered his head and gave me a helpless glance, then cooperatively said to Charlotte, we're getting married on the 5th of next month. You're welcome to come. How is that possible? Charlotte shook her head in disbelief. She looked at Edison, unable to speak due to his expressionless face. What did she want to say? Didn't you like me before? Is that so? With an innocent look in my eyes, I asked her, Charlotte, why is it impossible? She could get together with Damien overnight. So why can't we? Just as the atmosphere fell into silence, Charlotte's phone rang. She snapped out of her daze and reached for the phone in her bag while answering the call. I had already settled onto the sofa, and the shop assistant was laying out the newly arrived wedding dresses one by one in front of me. I speared a piece of fruit from the platter and stuffed it into my mouth, pointing at her pale face as I said to Edison, see, even she knows this isn't right. There's no such thing as truly understanding another's pain. Hey, do you think she might like you too? Edison glared at me upon hearing this. Ha, no. He looked at the 5 wedding dresses in front of him, shook his head with a sigh, and then asked me, do any of these catch your eye? Only when he said this did I remember to look up. At first glance, I fell in love with the wedding dress in the very center, adorned all over with tiny diamonds, its design brimming with romance and elegance. Under the lighting, the light refracted by the diamonds reminded me of the dazzling brilliance of a starry sea. Edison saw me staring at that dress, unable to tear my eyes away, and waved his hand in front of my face. Go try it on. Marriage may not be every girl's dream, but a wedding dress certainly is. From outside came intermittent sounds of Charlotte's voice, Edison occasionally responding with a word or two. Finally, just as I was about to step out, Charlotte asked him sadly, Edison, you weren't like this to me before. Why are you so cold to me now? Please don't treat me this way. Okay, if we can't be lovers, can't we at least be friends? I stopped the shop assistant from pulling open the curtain, listening carefully. I certainly didn't want to be the only one left at next month's wedding. You're really something. Should I be all warm and caring toward my brother's girlfriend? Forget about being friends. It's just not appropriate. Not appropriate at all. I'm about to get married. You. I gave a look to the shop assistant, and she pulled open the curtain. The chatter outside fell silent the moment I appeared. Seeing the two of them, along with the stunned admiration in Damien's eyes as he rushed in from outside, I was completely satisfied. It's worth the money if it makes others amazed. I was admiring myself beautifully when Edison leaned in and whispered to me, "Why do you think these two suddenly came over? Take a few photos. We look so handsome and beautiful in this mirror." Edison was being cocky next to me, and I was just about to take the phone to snap some pictures. Coming back to his senses, Damien suddenly spoke up. "You're getting married. How come I didn't know?" After saying this, his furrowed brows suddenly relaxed, and his tone softened. "Edison, Aaron is being childish, but you should know better. How could you act so recklessly about marriage without even discussing it with your parents? What will people say if this gets out? Both of you, stop acting like spoiled children." Originally looking displeased, Charlotte seemed to find this reasoning convincing, and her expression improved slightly. Damien, as Edison's older brother, didn't even know about our marriage plans. This only proves it was all our own doing. Bro, just call mom and dad and ask them. Edison didn't argue with him, just stared at him steadily. Seeing our calm expressions, he turned to me with pale lips and asked, "Is it true?" Yes. He still didn't believe it, so he called my uncle and aunt right in front of us. The result is that we're getting married, under the dazzling lights. The four of us stood on either side, no one speaking. Damien looked at me with a bewildered expression. As I stood behind Edison, our gazes meeting in that moment. Suddenly, I didn't understand. If he didn't like me, why did his face turn pale when he heard I was getting married? Instinctively, I tightened my grip on Edison's sleeve, and sensing this, he turned to comfort me with a pat. "Can you leave now?" As the words fell, they stared at each other stiffly. Charlotte forced a difficult smile. "Aaron, didn't you say you'd let me be your bridesmaid?" In the youthful years, the once shy smiling Charlotte had transformed into her current self with impeccable makeup. But back then, Charlotte held my hand with sincerity in her eyes, saying, "No matter who gets married first in the future, we must be each other's bridesmaids, watching over and accompanying each other towards happiness." Now, Charlotte, are you still the girl who said you wanted to see me find happiness? You're not anymore. I don't know if it's because I thought of the past, or if I truly realized that those who remained good friends into adulthood would no longer be friends. My heart aches with bitterness and melancholy. I softly uttered these words, "No more." In a daze, it felt like saying goodbye to a companion from my memories. Charlotte's face instantly turned pale, and she staggered a few steps. "Aaron, I don't know how much sincerity was in her calls to me, but it doesn't matter anymore." Getting closer to the wedding dress, we came out after choosing the venue. Edison held my hand to warm me up as we looked up at the sky. It started snowing again. Snowflakes fall on our heads, turning our dark hair white. I laugh and raise my head, while he obediently lowers his. I say, "Doesn't this look like growing old together?" "Very much so," he urged me. "This is so atmospheric. Take a photo to capture the moment." Later, while I was organizing my things, I found a group photo tucked away in a corner. It was a photo of us from the school sports day. Sitting on my bed, I wiped the dust off it with a tissue. Finally discovered Damien and Charlotte's unintentional moment of eye contact. I recalled that she had said she actually wanted me to pick up the medal and take a bite. But unexpectedly, it ended up being photographed, with both sets of parents helping out. The wedding preparations were pretty much sorted when I saw Charlotte again at my coffee shop. She was wearing a brown coat with curled hair, looking like an elegant and intellectual woman. Seeing me approach, she showed no intention of stopping. She called out to me, "Aaron, I regret it." Her eyes slightly reddened as she looked at me, but I remained silent, gritting her teeth. She continued, "Aaron, Edison doesn't love you. If you marry him, you won't be happy." "So what?" I sneered with a curled lip. "Give him back to you. Aren't you with Damien now?" I didn't hear Edison tell me they broke up. She was caught off guard by my rapid-fire questions, her eyes darting away, but she kept being stubborn and asked me, "Edison never drove dozens of kilometers just to take you home, did he? Did he ever make brown sugar water for you? Did he rush out late at night to buy you spicy hot pot just because you craved it? Did he ever get into a fight for you? Did he ever tell you he liked you? I'm doing all this for your own good, because I don't want you to gamble with your happiness just to spite me." How touching. All this talk about being my friend. Every word carries the implication of wanting to have it both ways. I scoffed. What? Trying to keep a foot in both boats. I'm not. She firmly denied having any such intention. Calmly and without anger, I told her. First, my home is right here in North City. There's no need for him to drive dozens of kilometers to take me home. Second, everything you're about to say will eventually happen to me, except for the fighting. And also, Charlotte, you can recount so clearly what he did for you, and you know very well how good he was to you. But you chose Damien. I said, you just don't want me to be happy. You don't even like Damien that much. You're only with him because I liked him. You're enjoying that sense of superiority, that feeling of victory. You know what? I came across an old photo of us together. I told her word by word. I truly regret ever knowing you and being your friend. Let's not contact each other anymore. At this time, there weren't many people in the shop. Charlotte burst into almost hysterical laughter after I took a few steps. Erin, just admit it. You're jealous of me. You're jealous that Edison likes me. Even Damien, whom you're desperately in love with, is crazy about me. You get nothing. Just then, the staff happened to bring over an iced Americano. I picked it up and splashed it out. Oh, she let out a piercing scream. Are you sober now? I took a tissue to wipe my hands and smiled apologetically at the staff. Sorry about that. It's fine. The boss did a good job. After saying that, she ran back inside. Erin, how dare you treat me like this? Charlotte looked utterly disheveled now. Her delicate features twisted in fury. Bark again and the next cup will be hot. I smiled and walked inside after saying this. During lunch, I was talking to Edison about what happened in the morning. His face darkened, and his tone grew impatient. Tell me, are they out of their minds? Seriously, going to the company. Charlotte has nothing better to do. Always waiting downstairs to ambush me, pretending it's a coincidence. And when I get home, my brother always glares at me, asking why we got married if we don't even like each other. I've been having a peaceful few days myself, unaware that so much was happening on his end. Why didn't you tell me? Oh dear. Oh dear. He scratched his head with a pitiful expression. I just noticed you've been coming home and collapsing into bed every day while preparing for the wedding. I didn't want to bother you with these two ridiculous stories. Sure enough, some people always prefer food from someone else's pot and wildflowers. They just don't appreciate what's clean and proper. Propping my chin in my hand, I watched his gloomy face and asked, so, have you really lost all feelings for Charlotte now? 5 years. Huh? Suddenly, his expression changed. Erin, I'm warning you. If you dare leave me alone at the wedding, you're dead. TSK TSK. So impatient. I said, I'm just asking. How could I, after 5 years without even a glance from them, dare to hope they'd like me in just a month? Then isn't that nonsense? He pouted. What were you thinking? I can't figure it out. Or maybe, you talking to God is faith. God talking to you. He suddenly blurted out such a random remark that it caught me completely off guard. He laughed. Your brain must be fried. Oh, I asked. Is this some new meme or something? Tonight I'll take you gaming. Yo yo yo. I glanced at him sideways. That day, I hung out with an old friend until midnight, had a few drinks, and got a little tipsy. I sprawled on the sofa, and in my dream, someone was frantically pressing the doorbell outside my house, as if urging me to my death. Suddenly, my consciousness returned, and I slowly opened my eyes. The doorbell rang clearly outside. Huh, not a dream after all. I stood up, somewhat unsteady, leaning against the wall as I staggered over. As soon as I opened the door, I saw the unlucky Damien. My mom told me that marriage is a joyous occasion, and since it's a happy event, it shouldn't be tainted by bad luck. Frowning, I was about to close the door when Damien grabbed it. His eyes were red as he gritted his teeth and asked me, Erin, are you serious? Are you really going to marry Edison? Have you thought this through? He loves Charlotte. You two won't be happy together. His expression was pained. Erin, I don't want you to ruin your own happiness out of spite, just to get back at me. Hearing this, I narrowed my eyes, swallowed the nausea rising in my throat, and spoke each word clearly. I am serious. I'm going to marry Edison, and I've thought it through very carefully. Edison treats me very well. When you refuse to accompany me for photos, you always spoil the fun during outings and blame me for choosing bad locations. He always defends me against your criticisms, willingly accompanies me for photo shoots, and never shows impatience with me. I can do that too, he suddenly said to me with great urgency. I don't know Damien under what state of mind he uttered these words. He continued speaking. Aaron, truly, I regret it. Before, I didn't recognize my own feelings. Later, when I heard you were going to marry Edison, it really hurt here. I was so scared. I'd never imagined a future without you. Ugh. I finally couldn't hold it in and vomited. The vomit covering him entirely. Ugh. So disgusting. Ugh. His words abruptly stopped, his face turning as ugly as it could possibly be. Oops. Bro. My bad. Edison had appeared at some point, a somewhat gloating smile playing at the corners of his mouth. You really shouldn't be visiting your future sister-in-law in the middle of the night. If people misunderstand, aren't you just causing trouble for Aaron? Damien widened his eyes in disbelief, but the words he wanted to say were shut out by Edison closing the door on him. In the bathroom, he gently wiped the vomit from my mouth and body with a towel, his gaze soft. I clutched his clothes and murmured, when did you get here? How long have you been watching? How much have you heard? He chuckled lightly, his chest vibrating slightly. I arrived just as you opened the door. Oh, under the bright light of the bathroom. He suddenly asked me, when did you say that just now? My mind was a bit foggy. What? The one about taking photos? Oh, many times. Don't we always pick the spots whenever we go out? They're never happy. I want to take photos. The scenery is so beautiful. But they say they're too tired. That the places I choose are terrible. Boo-hoo. If you're so tired, then don't go out. Stay home and sleep. Or sit in a cafe drinking coffee. What's the point of agreeing to go out? Edison gently stroked my face as if to comfort me. Don't cry. Don't cry. Suddenly, I looked up to see the man's gentle expression, and I motioned for him to lower his head. He smiled and leaned his ear toward my mouth. I said pitifully, actually, there were so many times I didn't want to like Damien anymore. But I kept remembering how he once rode a broken bicycle just to buy me a new dress. So I thought, just hold on a little longer. Just a little longer. Edison silently patted my back, and I said, another reason is, initially it was me who suggested we pursue both of them together. Seeing you still putting so much effort into chasing Charlotte, I didn't want to dampen your spirits. Hearing this, he laughed in exasperation. First time I've heard of loyalty being a thing when chasing someone. Little drunkard. Talking nonsense. He manually muted me, then went to fetch my clothes, asking, can you manage washing yourself? I nodded vigorously. I can. I nearly toppled headfirst into the bathtub from being top-heavy. Edison was startled and quickly grabbed me. Hey, where are you trying to bump into? Then, gritting his teeth, he muttered to himself, never mind. I'll see it sooner or later anyway. Hands. Keep your hands in place. No, you pervert. I want to touch you back. I'm not. I'm your future husband. Who is husband? Edison. Who is the wife? Aaron. On the wedding day, both Edison and I were afraid the other might run away. So we had each other hold a phone to make a video call. After the wedding began, my father held my hand as we walked step by step toward Edison, placing my hand into his. His palm was broad and warm, and through my veil, I could see the man whose face was brimming with joy. Damien and Charlotte were right about some things. At first, Edison and I got together just to make a pair, to make all those years we'd invested seem less pitiful. But later, we were also very serious about making it to the end, because the photos they posted together were of them wearing school uniforms. Me and him. Later Edison and Charlotte ultimately didn't end up together, and both cheated. It's unclear whether Edison and his company secretary were seen together first, or Charlotte stayed at the same hotel with her university senior during a trip. Later, the cheating partners changed again and again. In the end, both obtained evidence of each other's infidelity. Both made a huge, ugly scene, so big that it made local news. Angry and ashamed, the in-laws couldn't even show their faces outside. At this moment, I returned home from outside to find Edison had cooked a meal for me. I watched his busy figure in the kitchen. I couldn't help but walk up and hug him. He smiled and asked me, what's going on? I pressed my face against his back and said in a muffled voice, only now do I realize how difficult it truly is to be loyal to a loved one, to love with patience, and in the end, to act with conscience. Aaron, have you cheated on me? He turned around nervously, holding a kitchen knife. I opened my mouth speechlessly. Are you crazy? You scared me to death. He pretended to let out a sigh of relief. I said, If we had been with them back then, would we have been cheated on too? Change the first 5 words to definitely. He didn't even want to mention his brother anymore. He's already driven our parents to despair. The company's shareholders have held several meetings to vote out my brother as vice president. My dad can't protect him this time. Thankfully, I chose to start my own business back then. Otherwise, I'd be furious too. The stock price has already hit the limit down. People who aren't serious about relationships won't change their ways no matter who they're with. I watched Edison making my favorite soy sauce chicken and swallowed hard. Last year, I went with him to City A. Although City A is a coastal city known for its seafood. But once I got there, I fell hopelessly in love with white-cut chicken, scallion oil chicken, soy sauce chicken, salt-baked chicken, hand-shredded chicken. Among them, I especially adore soy sauce chicken. The rich, savory flavor permeates every part of the tender, silky meat. One bite, and it's unforgettable forever. Thank you, hubby. I stood on tiptoe and planted a kiss on his cheek. He froze for a moment, then pointed to his lips and said, "They say they want one too." I waved my hand grandly. "You'll get kisses all over."